friends, I want to welcome you to another 3ABN Today program. My name is Jill Morricone, and we have an exciting program with a different twist today. I can't wait to share that with you. But first, we want to introduce you to our special guest, Shirley Rhodey. We want to welcome you, Shirley. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Where are you from? Tell me where you're from.
I'm from Oxford, Wisconsin, which is the middle of the state.
Okay, yeah. And you and your...
Way up in the north woods, the edge.
That's really pretty up there.
It is. It's beautiful.
I bet you get a lot of snow.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Now tell me, you and your husband do a lot of things, really. I know you just got back from Africa, a trip with Adventist World Radio.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
what else do you do? You work with the Key Encounter?
We work at a Key Encounter down in Key West, Florida. And we work for Adventist World Radio, and every once in a while we volunteer here.
Amen.
Especially on the kids programs.
Yes, the Bible story program. Yeah, yes. But we're not here to have Shirley talk about all those other things she and her husband do. We're going to talk about diabetic cooking, which is really neat to me. And not only diabetic cooking, we're going to talk about diabetic desserts. And I love desserts, but this is really neat. So how did you get interested in doing this?
As a home economics teacher, which is what I used to do before I retired, one of the things that you want to be able to help kids with is if they have a member of their family who has a special diet that they need to learn how to do. That's one of the things that when we did our cooking section, we focused in on. Yes. And everybody had to pick something that would require a special diet. Little did I know that one day I too would require a special diet. Wow. And what happened is I had married, I was still very young, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, juvenile diabetes. Okay. And so not only did I have the students scurry to find alternative diets, but I started scurrying to find my own alternative diet.
You know, Shirley, it really hits home. You know, if you're helping somebody else and saying, oh, well, this is just for somebody else out there, but if it's something for you personally, it's a whole different story.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so God has led you on a journey here. Learning.
He has. And, you know, the interesting thing is there's a lot of reasons why people have special diets. But what I found is that in cooking for my own needs, I found that it was a healthier way of living and that it actually was beneficial to my whole family to, you know, reduce the fat, reduce the sugar, and try and find some alternative ways of feeding my family.
Amen. So today we're going to learn tips from a lady who's dealt with diabetes, from Shirley. But we're going to learn the things that have helped you, right? And I'm so excited about this program because I don't know much about that. So I'm real excited. I think there'll be a lot of people, you know, if you suffer with a health challenge, maybe diabetes or something else, that hit that record button and get out your pen and paper ready to learn these recipes. Because the thing I'm thinking, Shirley, is that a lot of times we think, if I'm a diabetic, there goes my dessert.
Oh, no. No? No, and I'm going to prove that point today.
Amen.
But, you know, we're not going to start with dessert.
Okay.
We're going to start with breakfast. We're going to start the day off right, and it's going to taste like dessert, but it's actually something that's very simple to make, and it's also very nutritious.
Good. Let's look at all those recipes here that we're going to be making. We start with that breakfast, like you were saying, the oatmeal with fruit and nuts. That looks really good.
Oh, it is. It's yummy.
Yes. And then next, what are we making?
Halva is a Middle Eastern kind of a candy, and you use it like if you're going hiking or you're going walking and you need a snack, or if you're just around the house and you're looking for a snack. If you're a diabetic, you might need a little extra pick-me-up, but it's for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we have apple pear Pandowdy. Boy, that looks good too.
And that's an heirloom recipe that I got from a friend that's been passed down through generations of her family, and it's a baked dessert. It's one of the few that I'm actually going to really cook.
Good. Okay, then a lemon pie. I love lemon pie. That looks good with the lemon slices on the top too.
Yes, yes, yes.
Very nice. And coconut macaroons.
Yes. And the coconut macaroons are, except for heating it so that everything mixes together, it's pretty much raw.
Yeah, okay, good. And then we're ending with the sliced apple treat.
Which is all raw.
Oh, nice. The apples with the caramel sauce.
Yes, yes.
Yummy. Let's go. We're going to read that first recipe for our oatmeal here. For the oatmeal with fruit and nuts, you need 4 cups water, 1 cup steel-cut oats, 1 cup sliced fruit of your choice, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, sweetener to taste, 1 teaspoon vanilla, a pinch of salt, and 1/2 cup nuts of your choice. This looks really good. A good way to start the day, Shirley.
And I might mention that I've chosen walnuts, but you can use walnuts, pecans, pistachios,
Yeah,
you know, any kind of nuts that you really like.
that's good. I like that. Options.
Yes, yes.
So what are we doing here?
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you would do if this was the night before.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to put the water in the pan and turn on the burner.
So I can't wake up and say, okay, I want my oatmeal now. We do this the day before.
Okay, this is a shortcut, and
Okay.
what we're dealing with here is the Irish oats. They're whole oat grouts, but they've been cut with a steel blade, and so they're pieces. And they look like this.
I can see that.
Okay,
Yes.
and so what you want to do is, as that water's coming to boil, you can just go ahead and dump that right in.
Okay.
Because all we're going to do is bring that to a boil.
Okay.
When that comes to a boil the night before, what you would do is, as it comes to a good, strong, to the edge of a good, strong rolling boil, you just turn it off and you go to bed for the night.
That's it?
And then when you wake up in the morning, you finish it. Yeah.
I like
And
that.
so
That's
it's a
pretty easy.
pretty easy way to do it. It's called the quick soak method, and it's one of the quickest and easiest ways to prepare
Sounds like it.
an oatmeal.
I like that. So it sits all night?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. And we have
But
some that's all, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, because it's warm and it comes to that nice, it stays warm a long time. So it just kind of soaks them and gets them started in what they want to do. But it never gets as soft, quite as soft as your rolled oats will, because again, it's the whole one and then just cut in pieces.
That's right. Very nice. And we have some that's all done. We want to show you. I have it in the fridge here. You've already let this sit all night then?
Yes.
Yeah,
I got up this morning and I came and put it in the refrigerator just so we would have it already done.
Yeah.
Now, with this, now that's going to come to a rolling boil. Can we just leave it cooking while
we
we're
can leave it
doing this?
cooking.
And then
Absolutely.
you can see that it comes to its rolling boil, and then we put it on the back burner. So
Sounds good.
if it can just cook for a few minutes.
Good.
And then we'll take it off and put this one on.
Sounds
now, this one, we put it in the pan.
This
We're
pan
not
over
ready
here.
to heat that one up yet. We'll just take this
Okay.
one off and switch them.
Okay.
Okay, and then to this, we want to add the cinnamon. Go ahead.
Okay.
And we want to add the agave nectar, which is going to be a sweetener. Instead of using a cup of white sugar, we use, in this case, I think it's about a quarter of a cup, is it? Let me just check.
Not too much. Just a sweetener to taste.
Okay, so I put in there somewhere between a quarter and a half a cup, just to give it a little bit of sweetness to it.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to be learning more about this agave nectar because you're using it in these recipes today,
Yes,
right?
yes. I'm going to be using agave nectar simply because, for me, it is one of the easier ways to do it. And again, I've chosen to do fairly simple recipes.
I like that.
Simply because everybody is rushed for time, they're rushed for energy, and we have a lot to do in our lives in this busy world. So the agave nectar, you can put it in cold water and it still dissolves.
Okay.
I would use it mostly in place of honey. Now, honey is a wonderful sweetener, and it's all natural, and there's nothing wrong with it, except that it goes a little too fast. The carbs break down a little bit too fast in my system, and since I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic, I have to watch that very carefully. For a diabetic who's a type 2 and doesn't have to watch it quite as carefully, still has some pancreatic function, the honey is a good choice. But for me, the agave nectar is as similar as you can get to the honey. It's from an agave cactus. The agave cactus grows in southwest United States and down into Mexico where it's harvested in that area. The main thing that I look for with the agave is I want to pick a raw agave.
Yes.
Now, that one can be taken off. It's already starting, you see it's starting to bubble?
I do that.
And
Yeah,
it's starting to come to a boil. Well, it would come a little bit more into the boil, and then you would just turn it off and take it off. But we don't want to turn it off. We want to just move that to the back burner and bring this one over because we want to actually just get this one warm, heat it up.
I'm going to switch burners because that one pops a little bit. We'll switch over here.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay. We'll put the fire under there. So let's put our other stuff in here. What else are we putting in? Oatmeal.
The oatmeal, now the morning, when you get up in the morning, you want to take your raw apples.
Okay.
I took the core out, but you want to just chop them.
Okay.
Now, I chop them fairly fine simply because I want them to cook in a hurry. You can either remove the skin or leave the skin on.
Yes.
We'll make as relatively small pieces.
Okay.
We would take this whole apple and chop it up.
But we won't
put
do
it in
now.
a dish.
Okay. Normally we would chop the whole apple, then
Right.
we stick it in a dish, and then what do you do with it?
Put it in a dish. And you can either put this on the stove and cook it, or you can
pop it in the microwave
to save time.
To cook it quick.
We did that. We went ahead and cooked these ahead of time just so that they would be ready. Now you want to put those in with your oatmeal.
All right. So these are just slightly crisp tender, sort of.
Yes, yes, because they'll go on while that also helps the oatmeal to heat. And what we want to do is get it nice and steamy hot so that when we serve it, it's nice and steamy hot. Now, we have some other ingredients here that we want to put in, but we don't want to put them in until that has stopped cooking.
Okay.
And then when that just gets hot, then we'll add the other ingredients.
It feels warm enough for television time here. Maybe at home you'd warm it a little bit more, but we're pretending.
But it's steaming, so it looks good. I think it's pretty much done. Now, we want to put in just a little bit of vanilla.
All right.
And a little bit of salt.
Okay.
Now, I want to add that if I am cooking for other people in my household, if I have visitors or even the rest of my family, one of the things that I would either put in or put out with the oatmeal are some raisins.
Okay.
Now, I didn't bring raisins, and I don't put raisins in the whole pot because I really have to be careful as a type 1 diabetic of getting too much of that concentrated sugar from the raisin. And raisins are really packed with a lot of natural sugar, as all dried food is. But now here's the walnuts. Walnuts go in, and they're a really good food. I really like walnuts. You can use other nuts. You can use the almonds, you can use, you know, we talked about the other nuts that you can use before. The reason I chose walnuts is because I feel like they're very good for your brain and in your thinking process, but they're also very heart healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. They're high in omega-3s, aren't they?
Yes, they are, and they're really good for your body. Yes.
That looks really good. Do you know that? I like it. It looks very good. I'm going to try a bite. You want to try a bite?
Sure.
We're going to eat our oatmeal here. Pretend it's breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, I like how the steel cut oats look, though. That's very nice. Hopefully it's not too hot.
Do you notice that they're a little bit more grainy and they're not quite as mushy or soft?
It's really good. And you know, Shirley, I'm not an oatmeal person, and I like this. The flavor's good. It's nice, sweet, and I like the apples. It's good.
You know, my husband likes it. My husband likes it well enough that he likes it for breakfast, but if I haven't fixed him a dessert for the day and there's a little bit of oatmeal left over with the apples and the cinnamon and the agave in it, he'll go and get a bowl and eat a little bowl of it, you know, maybe with one of his other meals.
That's right. Good. Let's go. We're going to go to our next recipe. Let's read that.
Okay.
You want to read the recipe for the halva, Shirley?
Okay. Halva. 2 cups of brown sesame seeds, 1/4 cup of flax seeds, 4 tablespoons of agave nectar, 1/2 cup of sesame tahini, and 1/2 cup of ground nuts walnuts, pecans, or pistachios. Again, you have a choice of which kind of nut you would like to use when you do this. I'm going to be using walnuts again today.
Well, I'm excited to learn this Middle Eastern candy that diabetics can eat.
Yes.
That's amazing. Now you're using, what are we using for sweetener in this again? I saw that agave.
Yes, the agave goes into this also. And the agave is a good choice for me because the original recipe for this kind of candy, baklava and halava, both are made with honey. Now this is the main ingredients is sesame and honey.
Right.
Okay, but for me, I use the agave because it's a little bit more gentle on my body, needing to be able to do something with the sugar, and the carbs break down a little slower than they would if I was using the honey. So if you choose, you just use the same equal amounts of honey that you would for the agave.
Okay, okay. So either are options that we can use.
Yes, yes.
All right, what are we doing here? What's our first step?
Okay, the first thing we want to do is, if we have our sesame seeds and they're whole seeds, then we want to use this little grinder. And this is a coffee mill, but I use it for grinding nuts and seeds and these kind of things. And that's all it's ever been used for, so I don't have to make sure it's extra clean or anything. I mean, I clean out each time and make sure the nuts don't carry over because the flavor would bleed. But other than that, you know, it's if you have a coffee mill that's had coffee in it, then you have to really clean it because the coffee would carry the flavor over, of course. But okay, we just put them in and buzz them, and they will actually come to a stop. They're all done.
That's it.
And that's all done. They're all done. Now, we've already done a lot because...
We did the work for you.
Yes. We need a bunch of them, and so we're just going to put this into here.
Now, is this the sesame?
This is the sesame seeds, and they're already ground up so that they look just like what's in the mill.
Got you.
Okay, and this is flax seeds, so we add the flax seeds. Now, what I like to do when I put them together is just kind of get this going so that we don't get a clump of flax seeds all in one spot.
Now, flax is good for you, isn't it?
Flax is very good for you. It is not necessarily one of the main ingredients in halva, and some people don't even put it in. But because I think it's very nutritious, and because what I'm making is a candy that will give you a little boost of energy. I like the flaxseed because it has those very important nutrients that do that. Now this is sesame tahini, and this is a creamy puree of sesame seeds. So instead of using regular oil or sesame oil, I use the tahini because it just gives it more of the sesame flavor.
It gives it more sesame. We have the liquid sesame and the dry sesame, really, is what's going on here.
Yes.
Yes, I like that.
Okay, now that goes in.
And tahini has a nice strong flavor. I like that.
We'll just add those up
there. You go.
And this is the agave. Now, we're making candy, so you notice there's
more.
A bit more than we did in the oatmeal.
Yes. Now, you use the raw agave?
I do. I use the raw agave because I know that it's been heated in less than 113 degrees, no more than 113 degrees, and therefore it still has all of its enzymes in it so that it breaks down the carbs when I need it to break down.
It's better for diabetic then?
Yes, it's like a time-released pill if it's raw agave, and it breaks down as you can use the carbs for energy.
Good.
Yes. Okay, now we're just going to kind of stir this in a little bit.
And where can our friends at home get this agave? If they're interested in finding agave, where do you find it?
Okay, it's gotten to be very popular, so you can buy it at the grocery stores if you can't find it at the grocery store, or if you're looking specifically for the raw, you might have to go to a health food store like a Whole Foods or
some sort of health
even
store.
some of the smaller ones. Yes.
Yes. Good.
All of a sudden, people are catching on that agave tastes good, it works good, and it's really good for you because everybody does less work on their pancreas if they don't have to be running it too much.
Yes, I like it. I've tried it once, and I really liked it. The flavor was really good.
Very smooth, soft flavor, yes.
Good. So we're just mixing here.
Okay, so we're just mixing.
Good.
If we get this all mixed up, then you have to get kind of messy because you need to get in there.
That's right.
And you need to actually mix it up with your hands. I'm not going to do that because, again, it's messy. Now, what I have done is this is how it's going to look, a little bit more blended, and what you want it to do is be able to stick together.
Good.
Because
yeah,
what you're going to do with that is you're going to kind of roll it into different shapes. So you can make little logs.
Can I try?
Yes, you can make a little ball.
Okay.
You can even make, you know, something that looks like, and we have the finished product.
Very nice. Oh
right
yeah, I see
here.
them there. They're very
And
cute.
in those, some of my logs are a little longer because if
Yes.
I'm going on a hike and I know that I need to keep building my energy so that I
Yes.
don't have a low or high blood sugar, what will happen is that I'll just make a bigger log so that as I munch, you know, I don't just have a bite. A lot of them I make bite-sized pieces because the bite-sized piece is nice. And I wrap each one and ahead of
wax
time.
paper?
Yes.
You have little pieces?
Right. But what I do with this is as I take it out and I do it, let's just do a couple. You made yours and we'll just take it back
It doesn't
out.
look that pretty.
Okay, but you can make little squares, you can make little circles, and it doesn't matter how many or how big. Yeah, and you just do different ones. Use your imagination on the kind of circles and squares and things you want to make. Now, what I do is I usually set this aside, put it in
The fridge?
the refrigerator or the freezer, and I have some tucked in there because I'm going to show you next how to wrap them and how simple it is, because this is something that will keep a long time.
Sounds good.
Once they're like that, you can just put them into your refrigerator or freezer and they'll keep a long time.
Good.
So let me just get that
While you
out.
get it, I'm going to try one here.
Okay.
Mmm. Mmm. This tastes really good, Shirley. I like it.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm so happy.
I'm going to have another bite.
Okay. Just tuck this back under here.
That is nice.
Okay.
So this is already cold.
This is already cold. Now, you could go ahead and roll these, but the next step is to just take the pecans or whatever, the walnuts or the almonds, and you just roll it in there like that, like the soft ones, okay? But they're still a little bit, they need to chill a little bit just so they hold their shape. These already are holding their shape, so the next step is very simple.
So you've already rolled these in the nuts.
These have already been rolled in the nuts and they're all coated so that they're ready to go. You just roll it over.
Oh, nice.
Twist the ends.
Oh, cute. Like a Tootsie Roll.
Like a Tootsie Roll. That's what it's all about. And then, you know, and then they're ready to go into the bowl over there. And
very
then
nice.
you've got a finished snack.
I love it. I got to try these at home. Let's go and read our next recipe here. For the apple pear Pandowdy, you need firm, ripe pears, crisp, juicy apples, agave nectar or honey, and cinnamon. For the topping, you need 1 cup whole wheat flour, 1/4 cup extra virgin coconut oil, and 1/4 cup agave nectar. Now tell me, Shirley, what's the difference between a Pandowdy and, say, an apple crisp or something?
Okay, well, a Pandowdy is a very old recipe.
Okay.
It's kind of like an apple crisp. It's kind of like a peach cobbler or an apple cobbler.
Yeah.
It's very similar. The word dowdy is just exactly how it sounds. It's not a beautiful dessert, but it's a yummy, tasty, warms your tummy.
That's right.
And it makes you happy because it's warm and spicy, and it's not known for its beauty, but it's known for its flavor. It's known for what's in it. And the one that was given to me, I had to change a little because it had a lot more fat in it and it had a lot of sugar in it. So basically, I took away the white or brown sugar and I added the agave back into it
that
again.
we're using.
And I cut down the fat quite a bit, because we don't want something that's heavy in fat or heavy in
Okay.
So,
now what are we doing here?
okay, right now we have to slice up the apples, and we have some of them already done, but this has apples and pears in it, so you're going to slice the apple and I'm going to slice the pear, and we're going to try and do them fairly thin so that they cook in the amount of time they've been given.
Yes. Okay.
But now these are very juicy fruits. So this, when it's cooking in the oven, is a fairly juicy dessert. But we have a secret to get a lot of that out and to leave it nice and juicy, but not with excess liquid in it.
Yes.
And there's how the difference between a apple crisp and a cobbler is. As soon as we get this fruit cut up, what we want to do is dump it into the bowl over here. And this bowl over here I've already sprayed with Pam so that it won't stick. So we just need to chop, chop, chop and get this in here as quickly as possible.
Are you trying to tell me to hurry up?
Yep. And I think we probably got enough, so I'm going to go ahead and dump this bowl in and get this ready for the next section.
Do you want these cut pieces too?
Yes, yes, yes. We want to almost fill this bowl clear to the top. Almost.
Now, if you were at home, would you fill it all the way?
I would.
Okay.
Because fruit, when it's cooked,
it
kind of gets smaller.
It does. It mushes down.
It does.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we've got plenty of room in here for this, and we'll just finish it now. You were cutting apple, and I was cutting pear, and it's a nice way to do it because then you have the nice mix that you need.
Yes.
Can I use that? Oh, thank you. Okay. Now once you do this, we're going to do the topping. And for the topping, well, we can just use this bowl right here. This is smaller, and that works better.
Good. That's a good thing.
Okay, we're going to put the whole wheat flour in.
Yes.
We're going to dump in the agave.
Yeah, we're using our agave again.
Yes, and what's nice about it is that we...
it gives you a nice sweetener.
Yes, it does. And we get the health benefits of the whole wheat flour as opposed to white flour that we used to use.
Absolutely.
And they used a long time ago. And then right here we have some canola oil that we're going to put in. Now you can use... There's several different oils that could be used. The one I don't use is the olive oil simply because
the flavor.
Yes,
but the coconut would be good.
Yes, the coconut oil is very good, and a lot of times I use the coconut oil. But what we want to do, and again, this is to just kind of speed it up a little bit. We just want to mix all this together. You can.
Good.
We just want to get it mixed up enough so that what we're going to do is drop this in by hand over the top. And the reason it doesn't matter how it looks or if the consistency is quite perfect or not is because this is going to bake in 350.
Yes.
This is going to bake for 50 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And then we're going to stop it. We're going to take it out, and we're going to actually fold what I'm putting on the top, the topping, into it.
Oh, so you bake it with this, we don't mix it first. You bake it like
it just sits on top in little globs, and it doesn't have to be lovely. It doesn't have to be special. It doesn't have to even be evenly spaced. And that's why I'm doing it with my hands instead of a spoon.
Yes.
Because you just want to kind of spread it out a little bit just to get it done, because what you don't want is big globs of something.
That doesn't sound too good.
Because it actually, well, you want it to be done all the way through. That's the main thing, because when it goes in, it loses the crisp part of it, and it loses the cobbler part of it because that all gets soft. Now, I'll just use this to clean my hands a little bit and put that aside.
Good.
And this actually goes into the oven just like this.
Like
yes.
Do you cover it with foil?
I don't. I don't cover it with anything. It cooks, and you bring it out, and you just fold this all in and put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes.
At 350 still?
Yes, and when you see it, there will be liquid in the bottom of it, and you don't want all that liquid there. But as it goes back into the oven for the last 15 minutes, that all absorbs, and the crusty part that's on top is actually folded in, and it's done, but it's part of the dish. And we have one that we finished, and
that's beautiful.
And that's how it will look in the long run.
Yeah,
it's
very nice.
It's all finished at that point.
Yes. You know, I like cobblers and crisps. My husband's really into them, but I love that. So this
when you're looking for a hot dessert, you can't beat it.
No, you can't. That's right.
And you can serve it warm, or you can put it away and bring it out. If you're going to bring it out later, it's kind of nice, though, to put it in the oven and just warm it up again a little bit.
I agree. I think it tastes better.
Well, you know, some people eat it cold, and it's okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's, however.
That's good. Now we're going to lemon pie next. Do you want to read that recipe, Shirley, for our lemon pie?
Yes. The crust, you use 1.5 cups of graham crackers crushed. That's about 24 graham crackers. And then you want 6 tablespoons of canola oil, 3 tablespoons of agave nectar, And then for the filling, we want 4 cups of pineapple juice, but you divide those and you do 1 cup and you do 3 cups. And a 4th cup of lemon juice, a 1/2 cup of corn starch, a 1/3 cup of honey or agave nectar, 3/4 teaspoon of lemon extract, and 1/4 teaspoon or a little less of sea salt.
You know, Shirley, I love lemon pie. I think it's one of my favorite desserts.
Really?
It's really good.
Hey, today's your day then.
That's right.
Because that's what we're going to do next.
That's right.
That's what we're going to do
Yeah,
next.
and it's so neat to me because diabetics can use this.
Well, this particular version, yes. And this, again, has been adapted so that it was originally taken from a recipe that was not vegan.
Yes.
And it was not sugar-free.
Yes.
Today, it's going to be totally vegan and totally
Amen.
sugar-free. So.
Amen. That's good.
Okay, we're
What do
going to
we do?
start out by, first, we want to put the big amount of pineapple juice.
All of
The
this?
3 cups goes into the pan.
Okay.
And we can start heating that.
All right, let me turn it on here.
Okay, and while you're doing that, I'm going to put the 1 cup into the bowl.
Okay.
This I don't want.
Oops. There we go. We're going to get sleeve in the stuff. That's not so good,
That
huh?
wouldn't be good, no. We're going to put the, ooh,
The cornstarch.
made a big mess. It
Yeah.
popped.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good. That's part of cooking, right?
Yeah. I wore black, so if I wear it on my shirt, you can see it.
That's right. Then we know why. Now I see you have a bracelet here, Shirley. What's that?
You know, that
for
I'm
your
so glad
diabetes?
you asked. That is my diabetic identification.
Is that right?
And I had a
Okay.
doctor tell me that I had to wear ID 24/7 because I am a very brittle type 1 diabetic.
Absolutely. So that's important. Our
It
friends
is.
at home with
It is.
diabetes,
It
type
could
1
save
wear
my
that.
life, actually,
Absolutely.
because if I'm not with people who know me
Yeah.
and I were to pass out or I'd start staggering down the road,
That's not a
people
good
would think maybe I'd had too much to drink of the wrong thing.
Right. And
But
not know
actually, that is one of the diabetic symptoms, is that you lose the ability to think or walk straight, or you just pass out. And so this is my safety valve.
Yes, that's a good thing. We need that. Okay, now am I trying to bring this to a boil over here? My 3 cups of pineapple juice?
No, you do not want to boil it. You just want it to heat. And as soon as it's hot, we want to put these other things in
It's
it.
getting warm.
If I can just look at this real
Yeah.
quick,
It's getting warm here.
I want to put in.
We got to see what we need to put in here.
Oops.
The agave nectar, are we putting that in here?
Yes, we're going to put the agave in.
Oh, you mix it in there first.
Yes, it all mixes
Okay.
into here.
Yeah.
And this keeps being stirred.
And we need the lemon extract and
Okay,
lemon
here's
juice.
the lemon extract.
All
That
right.
goes in. Oh, and the lemon juice.
Yes.
We can use this kind of a squeezer,
Oh, nice.
and we can actually squeeze it by hand like this.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's real
And-
fun using that.
The only thing is, then you get to go fishing because you get to pick out all the little seeds.
Seeds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
That's cute. I like it.
I've done a little ahead of time just so it would go a little faster, and I'll just add this to it
Well, that's perfect.
and try and not put the seeds in. We don't want any.
Seeds in our lemon
Yeah.
pie.
It's not Cracker Jacks. We don't want a prize.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll put the lemon juice in.
Good. And the sea salt.
Okay. Now, the sea salt I'm going to hold out until
Okay.
the last minute, and
Okay.
when we turn it off from the stove, we'll put a little bit of the salt in. I don't want to put that in while it's actually cooking.
Good.
Okay, now when that's hot, we
It's
want
hot.
to. Is it? Okay, good.
That's hot. You can feel it. You
Yeah,
think it's warm enough?
sure. Yeah, I can feel it from here actually.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to pour that in its liquid state.
Yes.
Set this in the sink over here.
There you go. It smells good.
Get it out of the
you
way.
can
Oh,
smell
yes,
it.
lemons.
Yes, and the lemon.
Yes. And there's nothing like fresh lemons to make
Yes.
something, a little extra special.
Absolutely. Now you're trying to bring this to a boil?
No, we don't want to bring it to a boil. We just
Just
want to
as a
heat
boil,
it.
good.
All this wants to do is just heat,
And thicken.
thicken. Yes, but under a boil.
Okay. How long do we stir it and keep it?
Until it's thick. And when it's thick and it starts getting a little bit more glossy, then we would turn it off and be done with it and
Perfect.
let it sit just for a little bit to just a little cool, and then we would put it in our pie shell. So we're going to just,
Work on the pie shell?
yes,
Okay.
we're going to work on the pie shell. You could actually turn that
Turn it
down
off.
or turn that off because
do.
we have a finished pie to show at the end
Okay,
of
good.
how it's going to look.
What are we doing here?
I need to bring back my bowl. I just wanted to put
we
it
need
over
that
here.
bowl then. Okay.
I'm going to use it again.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Rinse it out. And we're using the graham crackers. I like graham crackers. That's what
Yes.
we're doing.
We're going to put the graham cracker
Yeah.
crumbs in. Now, we started out with 24. That makes actually more. And we reserved a little bit over here because that gets sprinkled on top as a
Yes.
part of the garnish.
You have a little extra.
Okay, but then into the pie shell, we want a little sweetener.
Yes. That agave nectar again we're using. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good.
And then we're going to put a little oil in there.
Okay.
And this, again, is canola oil. You can use coconut or you can use one of your other choices, but
Okay.
canola works very well.
Yes.
It's a very light oil,
Yeah, it is. You're right.
makes yummy desserts. But
Oh,
then
yes.
the reason I use coconut oil a lot is because it's a natural oil, and if you get the extra virgin the extra virgin coconut oil, it's like getting olive oil. You want extra virgin, and that means that it hasn't been heated at a high temperature.
Okay.
And so it still has all its natural properties and all the
Yeah.
healing and nutritional.
Now, I was just going to ask you, does coconut have nutritional value to it?
Yes, it does.
It
It
does. What's it
actually
good for?
does. Well, you need a certain amount of oil in your system.
Okay.
And you can use flaxseed oil. That's a really high one because it has your omegas in it.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
also use olive oil, which is a real first preference because as long as you're not trying to high heat it. You don't want to high heat it because
Okay.
that kills all the good stuff in it.
Yes.
Okay, but olive oil and coconut oil,
Yes.
avocado, those are your oils. Now
Okay.
you
They're the
need,
best.
depending on your size, you need actually between 1 tablespoon and 3 tablespoons of that a day.
Oh, you do?
That keeps everything going correctly.
Lubricated.
Yes, and it keeps your bile flowing and your liver working. And for me, since I've already lost my pancreas, what I want to do is I want to have as good a healthy
Yeah.
liver and gallbladder and pancreas as possible, even though
Absolutely.
I have probably a very brittle, dead pancreas. but
Yes, but you do the most you can with
I
what
do
you
the
have.
most I can. Now,
Absolutely. What are we doing here?
We're just going to dump this right into here, and then we have to go patty-pat with our fingers.
You washed
And we
your
get the-
hands. I saw
This
you.
is why when we were young, we played mud pies.
That's right.
Because that's what we're going to do is play mud pies right now.
Okay, so you just pat it out.
So what we're going to do is just, if you want to,
Sure.
we want to pat it out and push it up the sides. So that's
Smells
basically
good.
all we have to do.
And then our filling would be cooked and
When our
thickened.
filling is cooked and thickened,
We
would
pour it
just, yes, we will just pour that in.
And what's it bake at in the oven? What temperature?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's
raw,
done.
just like this.
Yes.
You just stick it in the fridge.
Yes.
And it hardens.
Yes.
Perfect.
Now, if you choose, you can actually bake your crust.
Okay.
For me, instead, what I do is to set it. I put it in the refrigerator or the freezer and let it chill.
Perfect.
And then while we're waiting for that to finish, we would just slip this in and let this set up, and then it would be done.
Yes.
And what we want to do is just make sure it's run up the sides enough so that it doesn't, because this is a pretty heavy-duty, full
It's full. You can
pot.
see we have a finished one over here.
We
You can
don't
see how
want it
full
to
is.
overflow over the top of the
really
crust. So
good.
so
Good.
this is what we would do. We just simply take it over here,
Sit
put
in
it
the
in the
fridge.
refrigerator.
Good.
Yes.
And then we're good. Oh, that looks good. I like it.
think I was-
Let's go to our next recipe here.
Okay.
You want to read that recipe for us?
Okay, I sure will. 1.5 cups of shredded coconut, unsweetened, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of agave nectar, 1/4 cup of coconut milk or soy milk can be used. Any of your alternative milks can go in there. 1.5 cups of oats, 1.5 cups of almond meal, 2 tablespoons of carob powder is optional, and we're not using that today. And this makes coconut macaroons.
Well, we're making another dessert for diabetics or for anybody. I like this because anybody can enjoy these.
Yes. The coconut balls are yummy, and I think that
Yeah.
most everybody enjoys them. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
disappear at potlucks. I know that for sure.
That's right. What are we doing with the pot here?
Okay, the pot. Everything right here goes in except these two things. All this goes in.
Wrong one. There we go.
Okay, since that goes in, this needs to melt, so it needs to go in next.
This is our agave nectar?
That's the agave. This is the coconut oil.
All right.
Okay, and then this needs to go in. This is some vanilla.
Now, where can our friends at home find coconut oil? Is that just the grocery store, Shirley?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much if it's not in the main section with the other oils,
Yes.
then it would be in the green section.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise, you can just go down to your health food store and buy it. But most all of the grocery stores now carry it.
Yes.
And if you live in the tropics, you just climb the coconut tree and you bring down your coconuts
best.
and you make your own. Yes,
Yes.
that is the best.
That
I
is
really
the
like that the
best.
best. When I'm in Florida, I only use fresh coconut products.
Wow. That's
all
wonderful.
my
All your stuff use the fresh.
all of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
my
Anything else go in or just this?
Okay, just that, and that just heats until you can see that the coconut oil has melted a little bit. Doesn't have to really boil, heat. It doesn't really have to do anything. It just has to melt the coconut a little bit. What it does, as it's melting the
it's
coconut
melting,
oil,
yes.
it softens the coconut just
I can see
slightly.
that, yeah.
And so that's all you want it to do.
Yeah,
Is to
it's
just soften it,
starting.
just a slight bit.
Good.
Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm
Yes.
going to put my dry ingredients in here.
Good. Now, what are we putting in for dry?
Almond meal
Oh, good.
and oats.
Now, almond meal, can you grind your own, or do you need to buy that as almond flour, or?
You can buy the product already ground up if you're in a hurry. But for me, a lot of times, I like to just take a bag of slivered almonds,
Yes.
throw them in the little
The coffee grinder we used before.
nut grinder.
Yes.
Yeah, the coffee grinder, exactly.
That's used for nuts.
yes, that's used for nuts. And I throw it in that, and it goes in a hurry. But again, the meal, if you choose to buy the almond meal,
Yes.
that again is found in the green section at your grocery store.
Absolutely. Okay, this is about ready to
That's
boil.
ready to
Looks
go.
like
It's
Turn
done.
it off. Then does it go in there?
Yep, it just gets poured in, and we got to mix that together.
There you go. It smells good. I love that smell of the coconut.
Well, you know, it's enhanced because it has the coconut oil,
Yes.
plus it has the grated coconut. Now, I only use the coconut without sugar added.
Yes,
So I cannot buy any of my coconut just in the baker section or in the area where you buy your flour and things.
Yes.
So I either have to grate my own coconut, and sometimes when I'm in Florida, I bring home some coconut in a bag, keep it in my refrigerator so that I can grate it fresh. But
yeah,
you don't
that's
have to do that. That's not absolutely
Here
necessary.
in southern Illinois, you can't always do that, right?
Right, right. So, yeah, middle Wisconsin,
Yeah.
you can't always do that either.
Right.
But you can get the coconut, shredded coconut. All of your health food stores will have both the sweetened and the unsweetened.
Yes.
And your grocery store pretty much only has the sweetened.
Okay, for the sake of time here, we're gonna, normally you would mix it, stick it in the fridge and let it cool.
Okay, well, what we do first is
Okay.
we have a little scoop.
Here's the scoop.
Okay. We take this out, and it's just kind of a gooey mixture, and we make little balls of it, and we cover the whole paper with that. Doesn't matter that the little balls are perfect,
Okay.
because it's just going to set by getting cold. And so you just make little mounds,
And then you put it in the fridge for a
And
couple
then-
hours till it cools?
and if you want it to go faster, you just put it in your freezer.
Oh,
Now, if a
good,
little
yeah.
falls off, that's okay too. So
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're going to just set this aside. That can just sit on the back. Now, these just came out. They're
already
already
cooled them.
chilled.
That's
yes,
right.
Yes, they've already been chilled. Okay,
We need the coconut?
we need just the coconut, but I'm
Okay, let's
thinking
roll them and set them on here. How's that?
in the same dish, right?
I mean, technically you wouldn't do this, but we'll just do that. How's that?
Okay. Now, what you want to do,
Yes.
and I did wash my hands. You saw me, right?
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to roll this in my hand so that it's a little round
Okay.
ball. And then I'm just going to dunk it in the coconut and roll it around. Maybe swish a little over the top so that it gets nice and covered.
Nice, yeah.
And then what you come out with is a little coconut ball that's
Nice.
coconut all the way through.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
if you don't want it
fun.
coconut all the way through, and you can't wait. If you want it with a little variety, you can add 2 tablespoons of carob, which is the and then you get a chocolate coconut macaroon, or you can, instead of rolling this in the coconut, you can just roll it in nuts, ground nuts of any kind. Pecans are really good, walnuts are always good, almonds are good, whatever you choose. And we're done. That's all we have to do. Easy dessert,
all
yummy.
These are for me. That's really good.
Yeah, they're tasty.
Good. Let's make an apple treat here. For the sliced apple treat, you need 2 to 3 crisp medium apples, enough to fill a plate. For the sauce, you need 1/4 cup natural peanut butter, 8 teaspoons agave nectar, 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, a dash of nutmeg, which is optional, dash of ginger, which is optional, and 1 tablespoon vanilla. Well, I like this apple treat because we're almost making a caramel sauce over the top.
Yes?
Yes, just a little
I'm doing it because I loved caramel apples back in the day, if I could kind of remember them. And so I've had to cheat 2 or 3 times down through the years and just have a bite of a caramel apple, a real caramel apple, because I love caramel apples. So this is my special treat that allows me to feel like I can have caramel apples.
That's right. Oh, I'm excited about this. Good. You already got some apples here.
Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to start out, and you can have the cutting board because I don't use it, and we're just going to slice some apples, nice big lengthwise slices.
Lengthwise? Is that too thick?
As broad as possible, but as thin as possible.
Okay.
Thin and wide.
All
yes.
right.
Okay, and we're just going to put them onto this little plate. And then when we're done, we're going to mix up the caramel sauce, and we're going to drizzle that over.
Now, is there any type of
top of the
apples that you like to use?
Crisp.
Yeah. So no particular variety.
You want them a little tart.
Okay.
But not too tart.
Yes.
You want them a little sweet, but not too sweet.
Okay. I see
you do not want the mealy, mushy kind. You want them nice and crisp. That's the main thing. Have you ever had a caramel apple where, like at the fair or something, and they didn't use the nice fresh ones? They used the ones that were a little bit...
Yeah. Well, you're using Golden Delicious here, I see that. And then I don't know what the red ones are.
Now, this is a type of Golden Delicious, fresh picked out of Michigan.
Okay.
And the red is a type of a Honey Crisp, but with a slight variation to it, too. It's, I was told it's a type of Honey Crisp.
Oh, okay.
But it's...
just lay them on, or any special place you're trying to put them?
Just throw them on anywhere.
Okay.
They just basically go on because the caramel gets drizzled over the top.
Yes.
And what happens is you just pick them off one at a time. If you can restrain yourself to one at a time.
There you go.
I might grab a whole handful of them.
There you go.
But
very good. Okay.
Okay, we'll just slice that one more time, shall we?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Very nice.
Here's another one. We'll just slice this one through.
It looks really good.
Okay.
Now, Greg, my husband
I don't mean to
like
be
this.
picky, but
He's
you
an
know,
apple person.
that's the home ec teacher in me.
Yeah, that's right. I was just thinking that.
If you have a little bit of a spatula or something, maybe over there, that you can just scoop that in.
Sure.
And then we'll just dump these other things in.
Okay. Now, what was this? This was our peanut butter?
That's the peanut butter, and that's an all-natural, kind of a soft peanut butter, because what we want is the soft effect, because we want to be able to drizzle this over the top of the apples. Now, we're going to put a little cinnamon in, and cinnamon is good for all kind of things. It works for your health instead of against it. And then we have nutmeg, a little tiny bit of nutmeg, and a little bit of ginger.
Nice. Nice to have those
And
little
then
spices.
we have a little extra of this if we need it. Now, I don't know that I want to mix this. Could you hand me that plastic spoon? Because that is going to be too bendy.
Yeah. That doesn't seem too good, does it?
Well, we need it to be drizzly, but if it's not, I have a little trick.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's not part of the recipe, but unless this will pour over your apples, we need to thin it a little bit. So we have some milk in the refrigerator.
You want me to grab it?
Yes, please. And I believe that what the kind of that is, this would almost, so we just need a little bit.
There you go.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these spoons, and I'm just going to put a little in.
Okay, just adding a little soy milk here.
Just a little soy milk goes into it, just to kind of make sure that we can drizzle it. And I'm going to stir it gently so I don't just splash it all over me. I have enough freckles on my face. I don't need any white splotches. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
I like it with the spices.
Now,
in it
do you see that how it's gotten runny? And does that look like a caramel sauce to you?
Does.
Except
You
that
know
it doesn't have any of that in it.
Some. Can I try
Okay,
a little?
yes.
You want to try some too? You want a spoon?
Nope, I know what it
Okay.
tastes like. But make sure that it's sweet enough. That's the main thing. Does it need a little bit more of the agave, or is it
It's
okay?
really good.
Okay, then what we're going to do is to
It's
just,
very realistic.
we
Do you
just
know that?
want to drizzle it right over the top. It could have been a little bit more runny,
Okay.
but it's okay.
It's beautiful.
It's just a matter of,
That's really good. You know, the flavor is very similar to caramel sauce.
well, it's as
It really
close as
is.
I'm ever going to get, probably, because most caramel is made out of caramel candy.
Right.
It has a lot of milk and dairy product, but it also has a lot of sugar in it.
Right.
So,
And here with the diabetic, you're trying to avoid that.
and I'm trying to avoid that. So by using the agave, I've come up with what I think is about as, close as I can get.
Yes.
Not that I'm ever going to stop trying, but I think that
Yeah. Amen.
for anybody who's a diabetic and loves caramel apples,
Yes.
this is the treat.
That's right.
This is one of my favorites.
Now, you've had diabetes for years.
I have.
Yeah. And God's helped you to be able to
Yes.
find ways to.
Yes. He hasn't helped me to overcome it.
Right.
I
'Cause you have
haven't
type 1.
gotten
That's
past it, but I am a type 1, and I have learned how to live with it, how to keep optimum health with it,
Amen.
to keep my blood sugars under control.
Yes.
I'm always looking for new ways. The agave is one of the best ways that I know of to keep it under control and still be able to have your desserts as well. So in a way, I have the better of both worlds.
Yes.
I have diabetes, but I can still have a dessert every once in a while.
Absolutely. I like
just
that.
don't want to overdo it.
That's good.
We don't want to overdo
That's right.
ever.
That's right.
And
Temperance.
yes, temperance is very,
Good.
very important
Good.
for everybody, not just a diabetic,
That's
but
right.
especially for a diabetic.
That's right. Well, friends, in just a moment, we will be back. We want to show you all the final products and everything we did here. But first, we want to give you Shirley's address so that you can contact her if you'd like recipes or advice or help with diabetes or any other health challenge. Here is her address.
If you would like to contact Shirley for more recipes, or if you have a question you'd like to ask her about diabetes, then you can write to W8430 Lake Point Court, Oxford, Wisconsin 53952. That's W8430 Lake Point Court, Oxford, Wisconsin 53952. You can also email her at sc-rohde@yahoo.com. Again, that's sc-rohde@yahoo.com. Call or write today. She'd love to hear from you.